Hello, it's nice to see you again. Thanks for staying with us on Astro AWANI. My name is Syed Fardino Omar and you're watching in Realty. As usual with me in the first segment, we are going to talk about stuff that matters, stuff that people talk about when it comes to the property market. And one of the things that people are talking about right now is investing overseas. And there are lots of advertisements out there about investing in Australia, investing in the United Kingdom. But what about people from the outside investing in Malaysia? Are we considered good investments? So we want to find out about that. So with me today to answer my questions, we have Mr. Kumar Parmalingam of NPI Malaysia Property Inc. How do you do, Kumar? Thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
Now, let's just start with a very simplistic way of looking at things. Malaysia is an investment when it comes to property. Is that a good idea or a bad idea?
Very good idea. Not because I run Malaysia Property Incorporated, but I think because we have probably the most affordable singular investment system for property in the whole of ASEAN region.
Affordable, yeah, I find that quite, well, for want of a better word, amusing, because a lot of Malaysians seem to think that property prices are escalating and to invest in property in Malaysia is quite expensive. But it's not so for foreigners, you think?
Of course. We have to compare the affordability of the Malaysian versus the affordability of the foreigner and the exchange rate that we live under. Malaysia's exchange rate is low compared to Singapore. It's low compared to Japan. So these two countries, there are a lot of investors wanting to come to Malaysia to invest, to take advantage of the currency exchange. Just like Malaysians are now investing in UK because the ringgit has appreciated significantly against the sterling, against the pound. So the pound at $5, a lot of Malaysians think it's worthwhile investing because they expect eventually the pound to go back when the economy returns, to go back to 6 or 7 ringgit. They also make money on the exchange rate. So to a large extent, we are affordable to some countries, not to all of them. We are now also beginning to be affordable to the Indonesians because the economy has grown exponentially in the last 6 or 7 years. And they have the population to match it, 270 million people, compared to just ours, which is only 10% of Indonesia's population in any time, any one time. So Malaysia is affordable to foreigners. Affordable to Malaysians, I think, so long as the younger generation wants to live near the parents, it's not going to be possible. We have to live a bit further away. Purely because land in the city is scarce. Penang is an island like Singapore. So Penang has also got exponentially high land values. And so Penang has become a very expensive place for Malaysians to live in Penang, unless you want to buy an apartment. Now, the old adage of a standard 2-story terrace house being the be-all and end-all of an affordable housing is finished. Today, in the city, a standard 2-story terrace house is 800,000 to 1 million, right?
Yeah.
Now, so where is the new benchmark for Malaysians to own affordable housing?
Apartment.
It's a walk-up flat. Yeah. If you're looking at prices below $300,000 ringgit, it's a walk-up flat. Or a single-story terrace house about 26 kilometers away from the city center. Those are the affordable factors for Malaysians. I think for young Malaysians. Now, you know, we are now, a lot of developers are building these Mickey Mouse apartments, 500 square feet, 600 square feet apartments. A lot of them are being sold to young Malaysians with help from the parents. They are priced at about 400 to 500,000 ringgit. The parents put up 10% deposit. The son, who's 26, 27 years old, gets a 90% mortgage. And their business mortgage. Now, the first home is very valuable because you can upgrade, say maybe in 10 years time or 5 years time. Or when you marry, his wife can join the account together, and between them they can borrow more money.
Correct.
So they can upgrade. At that time, the property value, after one cycle, will be worth more. You can upgrade.
Coming back to foreign investment and investors, looking at the current trends of building, especially around the city center where a lot of the concentration of foreign investors seem to be, what seems to be the attraction? What seems to be the pull there?
A few reasons. First of all, foreigners are allowed to buy property in Malaysia without restrictions. No other country in ASEAN has allowed you to buy property, residential property, without restrictions. For example, in Indonesia, you can't buy real estate without a local partner. In Thailand, you've got to marry a Thai girl before you can buy a property if you're a guy. And also in Vietnam, also in the Philippines. But Malaysia, because of our British heritage, like Singapore, we've allowed foreigners to come and own real estate here, residential real estate, without any restrictions. So that makes it a very valuable investment for most foreigners. And that's why we have a large, about 8 to 10% of our property in the city center is owned by foreigners. But it's a very small number if you look at, say, what's happening in Singapore, or Jakarta, or even Bangkok.
Despite this restriction. So would that be a positive development, or does it work in detriment to our property market?
Well, if you look at the values, at 1,300 to 1,400 ringgit a square foot for an apartment in the city center, not many Malaysians can afford to buy that. So they're looking at the overseas market as well. And it doesn't matter, because the overseas market, if they come and buy the property here, they can't take it away. You know, they have to rent it out, or they have to stay in it. So we have three kinds of overseas investors. The first investor who comes here, under the Malaysia, my second home, they're usually Pakistani, Iranian, who are afford to buy $5, $6, $7 million worth of real estate. And they live here, under MMPH, Malaysia My Second Home program. The second is those who buy as an investment. They think that Malaysia is undervalued. They buy it now. Maybe in 5 or 7 years' time, they can sell at a profit. The third is buying it to rent and keeping it as an investment. They probably have houses in Bangkok, Singapore, Jakarta, and they want one in Kuala Lumpur. So you have these kind of foreign investor requirements. Some of them buy because they're working here, and they've got a contract for 7, 8 years. So instead of paying rent for 7 or 8 years, they buy a property. At the end of 10, 8 years, they may decide to stay here, or they might decide to go, but at the time the property will be worth more.
And make money out of that as well. Okay. Looking at the economic situation, you know, we went through a very big dip a couple of years back, and now everybody's trying to claw their way out of the hole. Where are we? When I'm talking about we, I'm talking about the Malaysian property market as compared to the regional market for feasibility of investors.
We never had a dip during the European financial crisis. Purely because Malaysia had no products of the subprime products here. None at all. And that's by virtue of Damansara guidelines. So unlike Singapore or Hong Kong, where they had those products, Malaysia has none. So when the Singapore properties and the Malaysian and Hong Kong properties fell down, ours remained the same. I've given you a chart on that to show you that during this period, we were still very strong. Our growth was strong. And the Malaysian investor buys for investment or buys to stay. And let me give you some statistics. 66% of Malaysians own their own homes. And next to Singapore, with the highest home ownership in the whole of Asia. Not even China, India, Thailand, Philippines, Indonesia, none of them have the same rate of ownership that Malaysia has. Now, how many houses do we build a year? We build 120,000 houses of all genres, from low-cost terrace houses to bungalows. So, in that sector, there are some sectors that do very well, depending on the market condition, and some sectors that are slow. And developers nowadays are very quick to shift. When the market is not good for high-rise, they shift to medium cost. And the market is very good for high-rise, they shift back to high-rise, or shift to landed property. So, with the volume we have, we actually need foreigners to come and buy our homes because the sheer volume we produce, not all of it is taken up. Only about 70% is sold. So we have a 30% overhang in our property market of all sectors. Now, I'm talking about the country as a whole. You don't have such a high volume of overhang in capital cities like Kuala Lumpur, Penang, and Iskandar. But you have it in the smaller towns where there's no demand. Or in the periphery, where developers have a difficult time selling, so they raise the prices a bit higher, and their sales are slower. So in that context, we actually need foreign investment in real estate.
Right. Okay. Well, come on. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have. I know there are lots more questions that we can ask when we're talking about foreign investors and when they should come and all that. But thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.
Okay, that's it for me in the first segment. As usual, in the second and third segment, you're going to be with Lina Watianan. So stay with us on Realty.
Hi, thanks for tuning in. We are back on In Realty. This is another exciting segment because I'm in an exciting development called Damansara Foresta. And to know more what Damansara Foresta is all about, why is it called a home within nature? So with me today is Encik Firdaus Mahmud. He is the Executive Director for Land and General Berhad. Thank you so much, Firdaus, for making the time.
Thank you, Lina. As the name implies, it's Foresta. So the project is in Bandar Sri Damansara. It's developed by Sri Damansara Berhad, which is a wholly owned subsidiary of Land and General Berhad. The site is about 42 acres, but we're building only on 21 acres, which is on a plateau.
Okay, 21 acres of residential and 21 acres of nature. So how do you blend those modern architecture concepts to the requirements of what the nature have? What are the exciting amenities and facilities that you offer here?
On the podium, we're going to have a lot of facilities for the residents. We're talking about nice free-form swimming pools. We're going to have nice pavilions. We're going to have water features for the children, playgrounds. We're going to have a zone for yoga, for Pilates, and there'll be lots and lots of amenities for everyone to enjoy when they are living at Damansara Foresta.
Okay, so when you say everyone, and obviously you have two types of different units, 1,400 and 1,600?
That's right.
Yeah, and then you have the nature, you have all these facilities. Obviously you are targeting to a small family. Who is your target market?
The target market we're looking at is the people around this area, which is this is a mature area. It's been developed, or Bandar Damansara has been developed for the last 20 over years.
Exactly,
it's been here, and surrounding us is Damansara Damai, Kepong, Valencia, and it's only about 25 minutes to the city. So most of the units, or all the units, are basically 3-bedroom units.
Okay.
Size from 1,004 to 1,600. And we have found out that most of the buyers that's coming to buy our properties are those small-sized families with children, 1 or 2 children. So that's why we are building this 3-bedroom unit. Well, we have also the penthouses and whatnot.
Having all this here, you were saying that you're in the middle of Kepong, in the middle of Bandar Damansara, mature area, and obviously you have a huge competition in terms of other new developments. Right. So what would you say be the unique selling points for Damansara Foresta?
We are selling lifestyle, we're selling views, we're selling the nature, because it's all surrounded by the greens. And mind you, Damansara Foresta is built on a site which is 180 meters above sea level. So on clear days, you can even see Genting Highlands. The location is so fantastic because you can access to this through LDP, NKVE, MRR2.
It's like a green escapade from the hustle and bustle of the city. But when we talk about the lifestyle that you are having here from Land in General, what are the lifestyle that you are trying to exhibit here in a mature township like Bandar Sri Damansara?
We are trying to create and have families in harmony with nature. we also try to build a community that will also be to blend with the current surroundings, and they would enjoy all the facilities they have, while in the meantime having all the nature surrounding within them.
But you know, to be honest, my favorite part of Damansara Foresta would be the hammock garden.
Because of the greenery surrounding, what we are doing is we're going to create jogging tracks. We're going to have canopy walks. We're going to have suspended bridges. And we're going to have also sporting, or what do you call that, our exercise zones.
And when is the due completion for Damansara Foresta?
We're looking at sometime around 2015.
Okay. And how many units are already sold? How many % has been sold?
We have not actually launched
Okay.
to the market this Damansara Foresta, the first phase. What we have done was we've got about 30,000 from our database, and when we have sent these invitations for registration, they all came. And we actually opened up for registration on January the 6th, which is the first week of the year, and it was sold. The first block was sold within a day.
Wow.
Right, and we were not prepared for that sort of response. And we had to open up the second block on the next day, and that one also went off within a week. And we have opened up our third block, and that one is almost maybe about 70–80% sold. And we're looking at opening the fourth block, final block of phase 1, sometime in June, July.
Okay.
Depending on how the market goes.
So there's still hope for me,
Yes, there is.
Alright, thank you so much for that time. I'm afraid that's all the time we have for this segment. Well, there you go. Damansara Foresta is indeed a home within nature. So there's still hope for me and there's still hope for you. So it is a highly anticipated project in 2015. So with that, I see you again in the next segment. Hi, thanks to me, and we're back on In Realty, and this time I'm going to take you shopping again. It's all things Scandinavian. Because today is Amelia Tam. She is the owner of Smuk Living over in Publica. Thank you so much, Amelia, for making the time with us.
Thank you for coming.
Okay, so I'm all excited. Scandinavian furniture would be one of my favorites, and we'd like to start on how you embark on Smuk Living.
Well, we started off because we felt that there wasn't anything, Scandinavian focused in Malaysia. Yes, we come across one or two, but there wasn't a shop that focused on everything Scandinavia, and it's very interesting because most people are familiar with like Italian designs or French designs, but they don't know that there's a whole world of Scandinavian designs out there. Scandinavian designs that range from furniture to jewelry and now fashion and more fashion now. So, and there's a rich heritage as well. They've been designing things very well for the last 100 years, and even some of the designs from the mid-century, the 50s and the 60s, they're still very well known and selling very well in the 21st century now.
So what would you say the distinctive feature of a Scandinavian furniture in comparison with the Italian and also French furniture?
Well, what's distinctive is Scandinavian furniture is usually very simple, and it brings out the elegance and its simplicity. And in that, it makes it a classic for years. When things are simple and beautiful, it can be kept for years.
And what are the kind of ranges that we can see here in Smuk Living?
Well, we are very focused on more contemporary designs, not avant-garde, mind you. It's contemporary, so we don't bring in so many of the mid-century pieces. Yes, we do have one or two vintage items, but we prefer to focus on the contemporary ones. Those are great because they fit into any home, yet the designs are still simple, and we update them with brighter colors and also, more modern and clean lines.
So what are the services that we can find here besides having beautiful furniture, vintage, and also modern furniture?
We are also carrying a range of accessories now by Joe Shensen, and also there'll be new accessories coming in by Norman Copenhagen, which is a very well-known contemporary Danish brand. So with those, we'll be having very interesting cosmetic glasses. Basically, it's a design that's so special. You don't have to use it even for liquor. You could even put it like a dessert in, and it spins on its own little axis. So it just takes the whole concept out of cosmetic glass and turns it into a 21st century design.
Okay, and then being in public transport, Damas, we know that we have a mixture of people staying around this area,
Yeah.
especially residential. So would you say that you are targeting the market over here, or you have your regular customers from all over? And how do you select the ranges of furniture that suit to your customers' needs and wants?
Well, from the day that we started the business, we knew that we wanted to focus on contract projects. So rather than receiving customers, waiting for them to come in, we go out to them. We go out to the developers, we go out to the interior designers, and also for customers to call in, we make it a point to call back, invite them in to come and see the furniture, or we will send the catalogs to them. So our customers are not just, around Mount Tiara per se. They come from everywhere, including Ampang, and we even have people from interstate coming in because they found us through the internet. We aren't, the only ones who are focused purely on Scandinavian designs, and pure Scandinavian designs, that is. So the selections that we bring in, we try and first and foremost make it appropriate for a project, appropriate for the 21st century, appropriate for homes today. So it's very hard to accommodate for, small homes and large homes, but we try and bring in, things that are sellable. For example, a table that fits diners, 6 diners. We try and make that sellable. So if a customer wanted it to be for 8, fine. We can even make it for 10 or 12.
And I am quite surprised that the prices here are very reasonable. That fit to the design and also the quality of what a Scandinavian furniture could offer. So how is that even possible?
Well, I have to work very hard for my customers. We have very low overheads. There's only 2 of us in here, plus a few other part-timers, and I do get my hands very dirty trying to get the work done as fast as possible.
Okay, and then what would you say be your future plans? Do you think that you're going to have another store that we can anticipate with?
Yes, definitely. That is definitely part of our plan. We want to focus a lot more on retail, for example, the walk-in customers. The walk-in customers, when they come here, they may not buy a table or they may not buy like a whole sofa, but we want to offer them, something Scandinavian that they can bring home. For example, a vase or a platter, or even a Scandinavian book. So that's the kind of direction that we want to head in the future.
And so tips and advice probably for the viewers. What would you advise the viewers that's watching today on how they can, some sort of know or have the sense when it comes to knowing the right kind of furniture for their home, especially for Scandinavian furniture, for its durability and longevity?
Well, first and foremost, you have to look at the design. The design, try and pick something that's clean, try and pick something that you think you would still love in 10 years' time or that you could pass on to your children. So Scandinavian design is all about craftsmanship and good design. So with craftsmanship, it's supposed to be made to last the generations, not just, for you and your husband, but it's supposed to be made to last even for your grandchildren. So I would inform them, pick something that's made of a great material, pick something that's made from a company that's known for its craftsmanship, and pick something that is scalable. Scandinavian designs, they are known for the dining table, for example. You can seat 4 people, but you can also expand it to seat 6.
So what's iconic here?
Okay, I would say the George Jensen products are very iconic. They make fantastic jewelry. My best friend, her wedding band is actually by George Jensen.
Okay.
Another iconic piece. Well, we have another one coming in, but it's by Snett Garden. It's a brand called Snett Garden. The table is it's a very simple and beautiful design, extremely clean lines. And to me, that is the most iconic piece. It will be tomorrow's classic.
Yeah, it's evergreen. It stays on forever.
Yes.
Thank you, Amelia, so much for your time. Well, there you go. If you're looking for that Scandinavian furniture, come on over to Smuk Living because they have lots and lots of ranges, especially the new ones, which are highly anticipated from George Jensen. So I see you again next week on Realty.